What's up, YouTube? Welcome once again to another episode of Semeex Football. Thank you for clicking on the thumbnail and thank you for joining me on this day where I just do not feel good. So let me talk a little bit. We just got kicked out of the FA Cup. Fulham just kicked us out in the penalty shootout. I've recorded this video about 3 times in the last 3 days. That's no lie. I recorded a video after Ipswich that I didn't like, so that I didn't post it because honestly, I was just not in the mood to make a video because of the way our team was playing in the second half. I hated that red card and I hated the way we sat back the whole game. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Then today, this is the second time I record a video because I didn't feel good about recording a video again. So I thought maybe to help me out, I'll script it this time. So I wrote down what I thought was cool. It was like 5 pages long. I sat down, I recorded it, and then I sat down to edit it, which is what's on the screen here. You can't see it. But I sat down to edit it, and because it sounded scripted, because it sounded like heavy editing that I had this planned or whatever, it just didn't feel right to this channel. It didn't feel like me. It didn't feel like a Semeex football episode. So I decided to turn the camera back on and I decided to be real and just talk to you guys like I always do. And if I happen to be not in a good mood because we lost the game again and we played like crap again, then I'm just not going to be in a good mood. So excuse me for that, and let's get on with the show. Guys, first of all, I want to give a massive shout out to some of you guys who joined me last Friday on bigup.com for my live. I want to say hello and what's up to Wally. What's up, man? I hope I said your name right there. I hope I did you, proud for saying your name right. Thanks very much for showing up, turning on your camera and your microphone and interacting with me. And that is what I want to do on these live shows that I do on bigup.com. I will be on bigup.com this Wednesday. I'm going to be on bigup.com almost every Wednesday. I'm going to try to do it every Wednesday around 5 p.m. UK time, which is 9 a.m. my time. So I'm going to wake up on Wednesdays, eat my breakfast, get ready, and hop on live. So join me this Wednesday on bigup.com where we're going to do a little more tactic talks and everything else. And if you guys have a camera and a microphone and you'd like to get on the show and talk to me, you can do that on bigup.com on Wednesdays live at 5 p.m. I'm thinking about going live on Fridays on YouTube. But I need to know from you guys in the comments how many of you are available on Fridays at 5 p.m. UK time, 9 a.m. my time. And I will do it on Fridays on YouTube, Wednesdays on bigup.com. But on bigup.com, I'll actually be able to pull up game footage and we can actually talk about the game and show you exactly the video from the game. Whereas on YouTube, I can't do that because of copyright reasons. So bigup.com, Wednesday mornings my time, 5 p.m. UK time. And YouTube on Fridays at 5 p.m. UK time. Now let's get back to the subject I want to talk about today on today's show. Guys, it's bad. Manchester United fans have been divided before. But, one thing we've always agreed on is that the club's demise really rests at the top with the Glazers. But now with INEOS, we have like a different kind of division. The things we were divided about before was like Mourinho, Oli, Ralph Rangnick, Erik ten Hag. Is it the manager that's the problem or is it the players that's the problem? That's kind of what we were always divided on. Now we're divided on Ruben Amorim or the players, or Ruben Amorim being good enough or not good enough, which is silly because we're going to talk about that too. But the other thing we're divided on is the ownership group. Is INEOS actually helping us get out of our troubles? Are INEOS really our path back to glory? Are they going to pull us out of the mess we're in and give us like a financial resurrection, if you will? Or are they just adding to the problems by making mistakes like they did with Dan Ashworth, backing Erik ten Hag over the summer and spending all that money for him? And now we might not have any money to really back Ruben Amorim the way we need to back Ruben Amorim in the summer. And I'll get more on that really soon. Here's the thing. I don't know, man, but I'm going to tell you the story and the facts the way it is. And then you guys tell me in the comments what you think. And tell me if I'm being too weird or crazy with the facts and twisting the facts to tell the story the way I want to tell the story. Because I know that could happen sometimes. Like if you have a perspective in your head, then you can start to twist the facts to make it feel like the reality you wish for. You know what I mean? Like if you're dating the wrong person or if you're married to the wrong person and all the signs are there and the red flags are there, but you can look at something like innocent or good and be like, well, that's why I know I'm with the right person. It's kind of how I feel about INEOS. It's like every time they do something small that's good, like they hired Omar Barada. But the truth is, and the facts are, that Omar Barada came to them. He went to the headhunter and said he's available. So really, the only person that INEOS actually went out and hired that they wanted from day one was Dan Ashworth, and he ended up being a huge, colossal mistake. I don't know if Sir Dave Brailsford really knows what he's doing, but we all know that Dave Brailsford has Sir Jim Ratcliffe's ear, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't think Dave is the right guy to have anybody's ear. So hopefully, right now, it's Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox that are the only people they're listening to. But is it too little, too late? Is it that we are so messed up after last summer and spending all that money for Ten Hag that we won't be able to spend that kind of money for Ruben Amorim this summer? Because guess what? Ruben Amorim might need more than that to build a team that can do the tactical things he needs them to do, the characteristics he's looking for. I mean, he just did an interview where he almost admitted he needs other players. He said so many things to Rio Ferdinand in that interview, but he kept saying, I can't really talk about it much because I know my players are listening.
But then you have to see if you have characteristics for that. I don't like to talk about that a lot, especially in press conference, because my players are listening.
These are signs that he is trying to do his best with a group of people who are not capable of doing what he needs them to do. And he brought up physicality again.
If you don't have physicality, you struggle a lot. And we talk about a lot of players that we had. Anthony is so much better now in Spain. It's a lot of factors, but I guarantee you it's the physicality.
These players are either aging or too slow and can't play a high line like some of our center backs, or they're just don't have the characteristics like the Rashfords, even Ahmad and Garnacho, who want to be out wide and need to learn how to play more central. You might be looking at me right now going, I'm crazy for even bringing Ahmad into the picture. I have to bring Ahmad into the picture because unless he's playing as a wing back, he doesn't really fit the inside 10 role. In a lot of games, he's made a lot of mistakes, but don't get me wrong. He's that bright spot that can pull off something magical and help us win a game. And so guess what? Like Amorim's going to play him. But believe me, as soon as he has two inside 10s, Ahmad and Garnacho aren't going to be starting big games unless those two inside 10s are injured, tired, need a rest, or whatever. They just don't fit. They don't fit, guys. So do I want to sell Ahmad? No, by the way, because I think Ahmad can really come in and change a game when we need him to. And he's also good to start in some of the games, even when you have two inside 10s. But for the most part, he's not going to be. I think the guys who have the characteristics to play more inside are going to get more minutes than Ahmad are. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. You can tell me, or we can just wait till next season and find out. That's even if INEOS have the money to get him two inside 10s. They might only get him one, which means Ahmad will get to play. And I think Garnacho is definitely going to be sold. I just don't see how he doesn't get sold in the fact that he just doesn't fit. And then the things he's good at, being out wide and taking on a player one-on-one, his final product hasn't been good. In today's game against Fulham, I saw 2 or 3 crosses that were just way too long. Like nobody in the world was going to be able to head those unless it was like Superman and he can float in midair 10 feet off the ground and then head it in because they were too high or too long and just not good quality. And his finishing has been abysmal for like a month now. Again, I'm not in a good place, so you're going to see me in a bad mood saying a lot of negative things about players that you may like. It's just the truth, and that's what's happening. And if I'm a little bit off my rocker, I'm sorry. I wanted to make a video for you guys. I didn't want to go another week without making a video, but this is why I didn't post for the last couple of days, because this is how the energy is right now, and I can only be honest and real. And I don't want to be someone who's negative and who's spreading negativity. I really don't. So I'm going to talk about facts, and then you guys tell me in the comments if I'm off base here or if I'm on the right track. INEOS wants to return us, give us like a financial resurrection, and wants to return us to our glory days. They say something like they want to win our next, our next championship or our next Premier League by 2028. Okay. They plan on doing that, though, by making a bunch of budget cuts, expense cuts, job cuts, 250 million redundant jobs, and there's rumors going around that they're going to make another 250 cuts. Did I say 250 million? I meant to say 250. 250 redundant cuts, like, layoffs and sackings. And then they're going to do another 250 cuts by this summer. Okay. Other than that, they're also making cuts in like the cafeteria for like food for the staff that are lucky enough to still have a job. don't even get the same kind of food that they used to be able to get in the cafeteria. Now they're like restricted to what, like half a sandwich and a banana or an orange or something stupid like that. That like doesn't really save them millions of dollars that they're going to need, because we're not going to be in Europe next year unless we win the Europa League. And how many of you guys right now are willing to risk like a bet that we're going to win the Europa League? Odds are we're not going to win the Europa League, guys. We're probably not going to win the Europa League. Have you seen that? We can't even beat Fulham. Have you seen the way we play? Ahmad's not going to be back. Sure, we'll have Dorgu back or something like that, but I don't think we're going to win the Europa League, guys. I'm sorry to break it to you. It just doesn't make sense. I wouldn't bet money that we're going to win the Europa League unless you gave me like 100,000 to 1 odds, and then I would bet $1. Hey guys, what's up? This is not an ad, so don't leave. Hey guys, what's up, man? I just want to thank you guys so much for clicking on the video and watching this video. As a new YouTuber, I've come to realize that if the likes are not 15% of the viewers or drops below 15% of the actual views a video is getting, then YouTube actually stops pushing out the video to new people so that we can get some new subscribers and new people to find our channel. So guys, I'm going to ask you for a big favor. If you haven't yet, hit the like button. I'm trying to keep the likes above 20%, so 25%. So basically, I need to get 1 out of 4 of you to click the like button, and I know it's annoying to have to minimize it if you're watching this on a phone or an iPad or something, just to find the like button to click it. But if you do, and you can do it for me, please, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we're going back to the video. Thanks. We're not going to win the Europa League. So we're not going to be in Europe. We're going to be missing out on millions of dollars, and their solution is to cut cafeteria food for like the remaining staff who are lucky enough to still have jobs. But I guess they don't get food or water or something like that. I don't know. You know what? I'm surprised that after last week's interview, when Ruben Amorim went on the press conference and said that because Garnacho walked out of the game, last game, not today's game against Fulham, against Ipswich, Garnacho walked off and watched the rest of the game from the locker room because he wanted to change out of his wet clothes, which I totally understand. But because the optics weren't good, that Garnacho felt bad, and also that Garnacho is going to be paying for a dinner for his teammates. He's going to basically pick up the tab at a dinner for his teammates. I was so surprised that the very next day, INEOS didn't, the story didn't leak out that INEOS wanted to know what day Garnacho is going to take the team out for dinner so they can send the chefs home early to save some money. I honestly, wouldn't put it past them. They'd be like, wait, Garnacho's paying for dinner? What day? We can send the chefs home. We can save some money. Honestly, wouldn't put it past them. And these people we're supposed to trust to back this manager the way he needs to be backed this summer. This manager's suffering, guys. And I don't care what everybody, like, there's a lot of people out there who think Ruben Amorim should change his style. What does that mean? You want him to have the team sit back and defend? Because that's really the biggest problem. You want him to have the team sit back and defend and then counterattack a couple of times again and hopefully score and we win? Because that's how Ollie won. That is mostly how Ollie won. Is that what you guys want? Because that's what I'm saying. We were so wrong to let Ollie go. When Ollie changed his game plan to start being a little more assertive in games, to start kind of trying to control games, to let McKenna do McKenna things, we started losing. Because this team has not been good for a long time. Even though we've gotten rid of the Freds and the McTominays, we still don't have high-quality players. We got rid of Fred and McTominay and we brought in Eriksson. He doesn't have legs. We brought in Casemiro. No legs. So it's no use. It's no good when you go, hey, we're getting rid of Fred and McTominay because they're not technical, but they had legs. And then we're getting technical players who have no legs. You can't do that in the Premier League. You need both. And it's not that hard to find players who have both. Just stop playing. Buy the young Eriksson or the young Casemiro, but not too young. And I'm going to get to that. Because another thing that Ruben Amorim said in his interview with Rio was that also what he sees in our team is a lot of nervousness, a lot of lack of confidence. That's why we don't perform. We don't do the simple things right.
I see that in training, but sometimes in the game we struggle with simple things that is clear that is wrong.
Why
that
is that?
I think we are so nervous sometimes in the game, and you can feel it in the small things, in the way that we move sometimes, the understanding of the game.
The simple things that he sees them do right in training, he just does not see them do it right on the pitch in a game. That means that we also need to bring in players, at least two. I think at least two. The rest can be young up-and-comers like Quenda or any other, like Napon or whatever. But we need two, a striker and an inside 10, or a striker and a center midfielder who can play next to Ugarte, or a striker and a defender center back. But I really think a center midfielder or an inside 10 has to be one of these kind of players. Two players that are cocky, that are full of confidence, have a good track record, like a Gyökeres and somebody else who can come in and the players can look at and want to like have their energy lift them up. Basically, you look at the player and you go, he's on our squad? Because he's on our squad, I start believing we can win. I just have to do one or two good things and feed him the ball. We need we need two of those kind of players. Because I think Bruno Fernandes is pretty good. Some of you guys aren't going to agree and you're going to think he's crazy. I just don't think Bruno Fernandes needs to be the best player on our squad. I don't think it works that way. I think he's a good supporting role kind of player. Right now, he's the best player in our squad, and it doesn't work that way. And he's been the best player in our squad for a very long time. Some of you are going to say Cristiano Ronaldo. He was with us for a short period of time, and he didn't get along with the managers that we had at the time. So I can't really count Cristiano as much, even though, yes, he's definitely better than Bruno. But Bruno has been like a stable player that's been with us for a while, playing a lot of minutes, and he's been the best player on our team. And I don't think that's what he's meant to be. Like, I want to keep him around. I think he's very useful, but I think we need two players that are better, that have that ego in them. That I'm gonna curse. So if you have a little kid watching, I'll bleep it out though. I will be bleeped out, but I am gonna curse. We need that mother, that son of a bitch that just wants the ball, demands the ball, and just tells everybody, like, just give me the ball and I'll make something happen. And then we need the other players to get like lifted because of that. They look at him, they feel good. They're like, we're going to win this game because of him and because of another guy. So a center midfielder who can command respect, like a young Casemiro, or like an inside 10 who's just very skillful with the ball, very slick with it, smooth with it, just technically gifted, but also is young enough to have pace and can run up and down the pitch. Are INEOS going to do those things? Or are they going to think about how much money they can save if they don't buy a Gyökeres or if they don't buy a Victor Osimhen? And if they go for the younger alternative? Because from what I'm hearing, Victor Osimhen isn't going to play for less than 10 million net, because that's what he gets on Napoli. So he wants 10 million net. That's over 260 pounds, 260,000 pounds a week, I think. I Googled it. At least that's what Google told me. So Google says for someone to earn 10 million net in England, they would have to make 260,000 pounds a week. It might be wrong, but that's what it told me. And are INEOS going to be okay with that? On top of his, transfer fee? Or are we going to end up shopping in the bargain bin because INEOS wants to get a young player who they can turn around and sell if it doesn't work out, which I totally understand why they're talking like that and why they would want that. I just don't understand it for every transfer. I think we're going to make a minimum of 5 transfers this summer. I think we are. If we have to be. If we're not bringing in a minimum of 5 players this summer, then what the hell are we even doing? So I think we're going to make a minimum of 5 transfers this summer. We need 2 of those 5 to be those caliber players that are going to lift the spirits of the squad. And then the other 3 can be Quenda and other young players who are really good prospects, probably going to be great players, but they're not going to be the ones that people look at and go, oh yeah, because he's on my team, I feel better. Because they're going to be kids who need someone to look at. They need someone to feed them positive energy and confidence when things aren't going our way. Because right now, a lot of times things aren't going our way and our players just fold. Some of them do. Some of them just fold. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. By the way, if you're here and you haven't dropped a like yet, and I know I got this kind of energy today, but I need you to drop a like, guys. Last time I wanted 1,000 likes. We only got 400 likes, so I didn't get that many views, and it was a good video. If you're new to the channel, go watch the last video. It's got tactics talk all over the place, examples of sporting plays, examples of our plays, and actual in-game footage. So if you're new to the channel, watch the video right before this one that I posted a week ago. Go watch that video. You're going to like it. And then if you like what you see, drop a subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow our channel, get more subscribers. What do you guys think, man? Drop it in the comments. Let me know if I'm out of my mind or if I'm right to be concerned. Are you not concerned? If you're concerned, Talk to me too. Let me know. Get it in there. Show up to the lives. I want to hear from you guys on the live so I can react and we can talk this out live instead of just reading comments. So show up to the lives, but always leave a comment. I always read every comment. You guys have been with me for a long time. No, I read every comment and I reply to almost all of them as long as it's within 3 days of me posting this video. Guys, I know this is a short video, but that's really all I had to say because most of you guys come here for the tactics talk. And I'll tell you right now with the tactics, the only person I saw doing a good job in actually changing the way he plays and starting to understand his movement is Xerxes. Xerxes doing a pretty good job as an inside 10. He's getting his movements right so that the center backs can find him. He's becoming a really nice, really good outlet for the center backs to get the ball to progress forward. But the rest, I don't really see it. I don't really see it. It's not. Delo was really bad today. Mazraoui is not a good wing back. I just don't see it, guys. And I'm concerned about the rest of the season. This rest of the season doesn't look good. I'm going to keep watching because I'm still hoping to see the Ruben Amorim coaching staff and the coaches starting to teach some more of these players exactly how to move and where they need to be positionally to do the things they want to do that I've talked about in previous videos. So that's what gets me curious, and that's what makes me tune in because I love the team. And anytime we win, I feel good and my week goes better. But when we play like this, I just don't feel good and I hate it. It's pretty weird being a Manchester United fan these days. It really is because I grew up in an era where, man, it was like amazing to be a fan. It was every time we lost a great player, we replaced them with a great player. Like just when you thought the team couldn't be any better, 2-3 years later, it would be Cristiano, Rooney, and Tevez up front. And you're like, what? Wait. I thought the team we had 2 years ago was amazing. And now it's this. It's even better. It just got better and better and better. And now it's actually gotten worse. It was better 3-4 years ago. The squad was better 3-4 years ago than it is today. And a lot of people are on social media blaming Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim's coaching has been nothing but meteoric. You got to really think about it. Like in 2019 or 18, nobody knew who this guy was. He was at Casapia. And then like a year later, he's the third most expensive manager to ever, like in history. Sporting made this big gamble and paid all this money for him. Third most expensive manager after 1 year of managing in a top flight. And then he wins Sporting the league after a 19-year drought. They sell a lot of his best players. He rebuilds for 1 year. And a year later, he wins the league again, playing even better football than the year before. And then when we poached him, he had won every, not only was he undefeated, they had won every game. They had gotten every point they could possibly get in the Portuguese league. And they beat Man City in the Champions League. They were like undefeated in Champions League too, making a run at the Champions League final and making a run to win another league title. And we poached him and we basically told him it's either now or never. And he decides to come to us and deal with the mess that we're in. And this is the kind of treatment he gets with people, fans who maybe aren't that knowledgeable about football, saying that, oh, we should have never got rid of Ollie. Ollie could coach this team better than Amorim. I don't know, man. Like, and then that's why I get like this, and I don't feel right. I don't know what to say because I don't want to insult other fans who have a different opinion than me. But like Ruben Amorim's a great manager. He really is. His tactics are great, but we don't have a squad. I don't care who you get in. Ruben Amorim was being chased by Man City, Liverpool. All these great teams looked at this guy. He's not nobody. He's not as bad as people are making it sound like he is. And the pundits aren't making it any better. They're making it worse by saying things like he should change his style or adapt to the Premier League. Really? Did anybody tell Pep he needs to adapt to the Premier League? Sure, he made a couple of changes. He got bigger guys on his team. And that's what Amorim wants too. He keeps saying physicality. He wants bigger guys. It's not him who picked this aging, slow squad. He's only brought one player so far, and that's Dorgu. And yes, Dorgu made some mistakes in his last appearance. But Dorgu, I think every one of us has seen, is going to be a very good player for us for a while. Like, I think Dorgu is going to have some really good years coming. As long as he God forbid he gets injured. As long as he doesn't get injured, Dorgu's going to be a good player for us. I'm excited to see what other kind of players Ruben Amorim is gonna want to bring in this summer. And I hope INEOS back him. And I hope it's not all kids that have potential. I want some kids that have potential, but not all kids that have potential. Guys, leave it in the comments. Thank you for being with me. Drop a like if you haven't. I will see you soon. Remember, live on Wednesday on bigup.com, live on YouTube on Friday. If I get at least 10 comments from 10 different people that you will watch me live on Friday at 5 p.m. UK time if I go live on YouTube. Thanks, guys.